chat. What is up, everybody? How you doing? It's the Double Toasted pre-show. We are late. I know. You have to tell me. No, you shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they do.
Stop telling me. They need to stop telling me right now. I'm gonna get mad. Ryan, no. Mauricio, no. Don't you start. No, they're not.
Yes, he's gonna get mad. A nice change of pace from his calm demeanor.
Man, by the way, if I had a calm demeanor, I think that people would just walk over me. Don't you feel the same? Do you think that would be the case for me?
Nah, he's just boring stuff. Man, so I don't like this Marvel movie. Why? Well, you know, I don't like because, you know, this. Like, everyone's like falling asleep going, what? Yeah, sure, you said words.
Yeah, those were definitely things. But no, guys, what is up, everyone? Brightburn saying, hey, guys. Hi, how you doing? I'm going to refresh this really quick because I don't like the red, okay? So, I'm not ignoring you guys. I just got to, you know, do a little brrr, and there it goes. It's gone. And then someone will say something in a minute. Let me see over here. You know what I mean? I'm going to do a little testy test. Oh, that's double toasted. Yours is always going to be red. Ryan is now green. Yay! It has changed. We are all good in the hood. But anyways, Mr. Alan Shakinson, how are you doing, good sir? How's your life?
I mean, fantastic. I had several people fall for my April Fool's joke, so I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, that's honestly really fucking immature, by the way, asshole. Okay?
Goddamn right it is.
You pissed me the fuck off with that shit. I don't like falling down.
So fucking. I wish I was in the call.
Yeah, I was literally in the call, and I looked like an idiot. I was like, "Hey guys, he watched the fucking movie," and then literally Jed, like, just calm as fuck. It's April Fool's.
I was so because I got fooled. I got fooled on my timeline because somebody said some shit, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Oh wait, I forgot what day it was. Because something always gets me. There's always one thing that gets me, and it makes me so mad. And I'm like, you know, I'm gonna fuck with all my friends. So like, what's the one movie nobody? Because other things, something like, oh, The Dark Knight or some dumb shit like that. But like, nah, that's too obvious. I had to do something that nobody would ever think I'd ever do. So I'm like, yeah, I'll watch this movie. I fucking didn't watch Teen Titans Go. You'd have to put a gun to my head before I do that.
Which is really fucking weird because the movie's not that bad. Like, you would watch 4 hours of Zack Snyder's fucking Justice League, but you wouldn't watch an hour and a half of a movie that's actually pretty funny, pretty good, and pretty good.
I don't want to fucking watch it. Like, it's a movie I don't want to watch. I was like, you want to watch it? I'm like, I don't. Like, there are very few movies that it's like, oh, gun to my head type shit. One of which is Aladdin. But even though I said I'd watch that, I just need to.
Well, I understand the Aladdin thing. Not even because of the, you know, diverse opinion of what we think is quality. I think it's also just like that's affected you in real life with your name and shit. So it's like that would piss me off too, dude. Like, I'm in the same boat. But anyways, really quick, Roxy, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good with the whole like April Fool's Day thing aside. To be honest, I forgot it was April Fool's Day until you brought it up, Nick.
Yeah, every fucking day is like foolish in general. Like, just many things I'm looking at, I'm like, am I falling for like? Am I just stupid? Am I the only motherfucker in this world that thinks the way I do about certain things?
This is the day, and I said this like early in the morning. Don't believe a goddamn thing you hear, even from me. And motherfuckers believed it. It was you and Cedric. I don't know how many people. A couple people also, but most people got it. But it was you and Cedric, and I died.
By the way, really quick, I'd probably fought for this, and Ice told me, but yes, he's finally been downed in this game. We've been playing this for the last 3 hours, man, or 2 hours. Call of Duty, Black Ops. This is 90s right now. He's getting killed by 3 fucking bosses. He is down, round 34. We made it though. Damn. Hopefully, I'm gonna be looking at this for minutes. I might just show it on screen, but like, I do want to see how many points we got. Wait, someone else is in this game? Who else is in this game?
Maybe got a rando.
What the fuck? Hold on, I'm gonna hit this button real quick. No, it's just me and 90s.
Did you say you're gonna lick the button?
I meant to say click, but if I said lick, you know, either way it's cool. Speaking of lick, wow, that would have been just fucking terrible. Ganja, hi. You don't even know how I introduced you right now, but it was bad.
So who got fucked up?
No, 90s got fucked up. Well, I guess not. He didn't get fucked up because I'm looking over here and he's just running around like nothing. He's getting juggernaut.
God, this game's gonna last fucking forever.
Yeah, don't know what's going on here, dude.
It won't last longer than our Monopoly game that went on for 5 hours and we just
that was 7 o'clock in the morning by the time someone just flipped the board.
Okay, by the way, can we please play Monopoly as a fucking family, please?
Yes, I'm down for this.
No, I love you too much as friends.
No, see, I agree with you in the sense of like, Among Us, I'm not playing that game with you because I'm not going to have that big fucking fun.
I'm not playing Uno with you guys too. I love you too much as friends.
Nah, I played Uno with you and you cheat like a bitch.
It's not cheating. Everyone just has their own rules.
No, but like this game, Monopoly Plus, this is on an Ubisoft app, and then it's also like on PlayStation, blah blah blah. Oh God, super fan saying Mario Party. I would love to play Mario Party with you. Then again, though, it's like if
that
you get too mad at Monopoly.
Okay with. That one we might be okay. Mario Party might be one because we played it on the show before, and we didn't fight too much except God didn't win.
Yeah, if you guys are
Whenever we
curious
all
about,
get the chance to like meet up again, I want to do Pictionary.
that would be cool.
I will lose with confidence like you've never seen before.
But let me see over here. Yeah, so Mario Party. I don't know which one is actually the best one, guys. But if you do want to see Ganja and Alan play that from back in the day, check out our Facebook. It's somewhere in there in the history of all the content we have on Facebook.
By the
You
way,
didn't win. It was the computer that won.
that don't count.
Yes, it
They're not
does.
cool.
They got
It
first
totally counts.
place.
They're not crew.
Yeah, they are. I made a thing for them and everything.
Oh,
The old
there's gonna be a
MCA
penis.
fucking banner.
No, but really quick though, so we're gonna actually move on as far as topics go, just because of the fact that it's like, yeah, I know we're late, and someone's already talking about it in the chat there, so it's a good segue. So thank you for that, Black Knight talking about it was fucking insane, as well as Chris Ayers over there. We're talking about Godzilla vs Kong. Now we talked about this yesterday. Me, Ganja, and Roxy did. Monkey. I'm glad you're saying at the appropriate time now, Ganja, because yesterday did not really work out too well with that.
Oh
but
no.
Hey, first of all, I didn't know what you were talking about. I just came in like Godzilla, monkey.
I know, but you're stupid.
Oh god.
But the thing is, though, guys, we're over here. You know, now it's been a few days past, so it's like, hey, if you guys want to change your rating on any kind of stuff that you say about this, you know, go ahead. You're free to. It's been a couple of days, so the recency bias is gone. But me, I still feel the way I do. I love this movie. What?
No, I love you, bro. It's been 2 days. VCC Bias is gone. Bro, people were loving Black Panther for like a month and a half. And then like 3 months in, they're like, well, it wasn't that good.
Well, those guys are extra stupid.
Fair.
But like for me, I think it takes a week, and granted, like, you know, it hasn't been a week still, but at the same time, I think I would be able to look at this a little bit more after a while and be like, hey, maybe I was wrong. But no, I still feel the way I do. 4 out of 5 for me. I really love this movie. I think that, yeah, there's a lot of things that could have been changed, and as far as a movie not for Godzilla people, might be a boring slog for some, you know, peeps. But for me, I was like, hey, I'm willing to let some of the human shit go by. And by the way, too, the human stuff here is way better than King of the Monsters. But that's what I feel about that. Now, the big spoiler talk here, before we get into Alan's actual review and then more spoilers, but, you know, I loved Mechagodzilla in this. Because that's the thing I didn't want to say yesterday. People already knew, but some people are fucking stupid, you know. No offense to y'all. But, like, yeah, Mechagodzilla is in this movie, clearly. And I think that he was fucking amazing. He made the movie so much better when he showed up. The way him and Godzilla fight, the way that Godzilla and Kong kind of teamed up and went against him, I thought was really cool. But that's enough talking for me. Alan, what'd you feel about this, man? From beginning to end. Try and make it as short as you can.
Well, that's what she said. As far as it, I was kind of nervous as far as what exactly I was going to be expecting from this movie. As far as the just seeing in theaters, I'm like, I really wish I was just watching this at home. Like, the theater experience to me, it's like it didn't really add anything to it as far as the movie, because I probably would have enjoyed just as much watching it on my monitor or on a decent TV. But as far as like my expectation, I was nervous because I didn't like King of Monsters. I felt like the fighting wasn't really that much fighting. It was a lot of good like images, but the fight wasn't as good as you know, Kong Skull Island, which to me still is the best one. But with this one, I was like, I wasn't sure exactly what they were gonna. My fucking monsters fucking freaking out.
Just caught her hands.
No, I'm hitting the cage. Anyway,
I love your back.
lost my whole train of thought.
Sorry, I had to mute myself. No,
Still laughing.
Damn, Alan. Damn.
No, dude, it looked crazy because it looked like you slapped the fuck out of the fucking bird.
That bitch went flying. He's lying his ass off right now. I'm
You
calling
would have heard
Peter.
her if she went
No,
flying.
he would not. No, he would not hurt.
I'm calling Peter, dog.
Alan really does love his
I'll
bird, but I
play a
think
PETA, motherfucker.
just so you guys know, and this is how podcasting is, by the way. It's just like it's a nerve-wracking thing because he's talking, the bird was quiet and everything, and it seems like Ruthless. Did he pin No, but the thing is, though, it's like it's one of the situations where I kind of get where he's coming from because, like, I get mad at my cat sometimes. Like, he's quiet as fuck, and then as soon as he knows, he just feels like this is not the right time to fucking do the meow meow shit, and then he does it. I'm like, God fucking damn it! Like, what the hell, dude? But no, but Alan will not slap his bird though. Just put that because people run with anything. But no, like Alan loves his bird more than you guys even fucking know. Not in that way either. But anyways, no. But yeah, as far as this go, I kind of agree that Costco Island was the best one of all these. Fucking shut up. Jesus.
The worst show ever.
No, but yeah. By the way, do you, like, I know you watched it with some friends and everything. Did they agree with you in the whole idea that Costco Island is like the best one of the?
Oh no, they fucking love this. They love this more than I did. And the guy says, I enjoyed the movie, but one of the things that was going through with it when I was watching it was I liked everything about it. I actually liked every second of this movie. There wasn't a single part of this movie that I didn't like. And it was like, oh, the human parts were so boring. I'm like, no, they actually weren't. I really, really enjoyed that because I got a chance to set up the characters. Like, you know, with the start, when having the little girl basically dealing with Kong, I'm like, yeah, that he has a care for humanity much more than Godzilla does. Godzilla's basically, hey, I'll help you guys out. But Godzilla's like, he actually gives shit about the individual, especially because you saw in his movie when he's on the island, he's caring for the people. So seeing that connection was like, that made a lot of sense. And you get to use her for scale. So you get to see how big this motherfucker really is. Because there are times where I'm like, oh, he's in a forest, but I'm like, I can't tell how big this guy is. He doesn't look the different size, but when they put him on the boats and stuff, you got that sense of scale. But one of the things I love about it is the switching between, like, you got a little bit of Kong, then you got some Godzilla, then you got the human companions that are essentially on Godzilla's side. And it basically just jumps back and forth between all three. And everything that was setting up as far as the story, to me, I'm like, people are just like, oh, the story's dumb. Like, the story's pretty straightforward. And it's enough to get the actual plot going from start to finish that I at no point was like, why are they doing that? I'm like, everything made sense. It was very simplistic. It wasn't complex, but it's like, hey, we need Kong to get to this place. We move Kong, Godzilla comes. Okay, cool. They fight, whatever. Okay, we're going to get him over there. But then some shit's happening. And then they continue their fight. Oh, guess what? Another thing comes. I'm like, yeah, it was as simple as you can get, but it was straightforward, and it basically went as fast as it needs to. And every character, it's like you don't really remember any of the names, but you remember everyone's job. Everyone had a purpose in the movie. The female scientist, she was the one that was dealing with that, knew a lot about Kong, knew how to say, knew how to transport him. The guy scientist, he knew about the underworld, he knew how to get there. The little girl was to keep Kong, to communicate with him and keep him calm. And then on the Godzilla side, you had the three characters that are trying to figure out the fuck's going on with Godzilla. You had the big guy who's like the evil villain of the movie. I'm like, everybody served a purpose. It wasn't like Godzilla came out. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna kind of like repeat some of what you're saying too, because like one thing I want to kind of emphasize as well, and to kind of give you some points there too, is when we get to our human villain or whatever, I felt like it was pretty cool that like some of the assholes that are not main villains, they actually get to come up and spoiler alert, it is a spoiler discussions in the fucking title, guys, but they die. And I was like, they die in a way that's not like, oh, well, the bad guy, got them because they're in the way of like some other fight that was already ongoing. It was like, no, Khan did. And Khan, and Jet was in here yesterday talking about this too. We both really agreed that like Khan was very much mistreated this entire movie, which was kind of egregious at points. But at the same time, it's like, I got to see Khan kill those people. You know what I mean? And not even like in a really shitty way. Like, he's an animal. So it's like, it's forgiven because you treat this animal all fucked up and you having all this crazy situations. Like, of course you'll do something. And I thought they really handled that shit so fucking well. And there's points where when Khan's beating up people, I almost feel like it's helping me with my, like, therapeutic shit. Like, it's therapeutic to see Khan get some comeuppance on other people. Like, that right there, oh man, he's beating up those fucking monsters. I was like, dude, sweet. Like, please, like, keep going with that shit, So...
They got a lot of characterization for characters that essentially barely speak. Like, Godzilla just roars. And, they add a little bit of, like, oh, you can say a couple words because he's been learning sign language and stuff like that. So there's a lot of characterization to, these two CGI monsters, which makes you kind of give a shit about them. Because, like, you're like, hey, we know Godzilla pretty well. So we know it's like he's a kind of good guy. But you also don't blame anyone in the movie for going, he's also a fucking, 150-ton monster that churns and wipes out a building. Like, him being evil isn't that far of a stretch, considering the fact that he can destroy anything at any time. But there are people like, hey, we kind of know this guy decently well. We know he's not a bad guy. So seeing them kind of go through, so like, oh, these guys are so dumb. It's like, no, it made a lot of sense. Same thing with Kong. It's like, yeah, these guys are gigantic creatures. So them destroying stuff, it's like, you can't really fucking help it. But as far as like, the comments, I'm like, everyone kind of, again, it was very simple. Everybody on screen served their purpose and did nothing more. Which is probably the thing that didn't really like. I like Kong Skull Island because as much as it's almost the same thing where everybody served their purpose, they were always a little quirky, and I enjoyed the little mannerisms, the personalities of everyone there. With this, it's like I felt like they got them to the base level, but they said we're not even going to bother doing anything more, which is fine. But for me, it's like I gotta say this straight up. I just wanted more characterization with the people. I know everyone's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? It's about monster fighting. Yeah, we got a ton of it. But there's also the in-between in the movie that I wanted them to put a little bit more effort into. Why does it have to be all or nothing? And I wish I had examples off the top of my head that does both well, but it's like, I don't want to settle for mediocrity. I don't want mediocre characters to be the filler in between the big moments. I want the filler to be worth it, to actually sit through it and be like, wow, this is really, really good. Oh, I also get monsters.
Well, after
so that was kind of why it lowered it for me a little bit.
Well, by the way, after this, because I'm about to actually ask Andre what he thinks reverse in that response right there, in that opinion. But like for me, I will give some examples of other movies that did do it better, because I kind of agree with you in some sense, but at the same time, like we got a ton of fighting. I don't feel that way at all. I did not think we got a ton at all, and that's one of the things that makes this like not a perfect movie for me. Because when I get two big motherfuckers going at each other like this, I'm down to watch like Stupid Humans or some like explanation to what's going on. But like I never felt like it was an equilibrium as far as like all the shit that we see with the monsters, because there's literally just 3 fight scenes. And granted, there's other scenes where we see them like in their own area. Like we get lots of screen time with the monsters being on camera, but as far as fighting, very, very little in the span of a 2-hour movie. But I will say, Ganja, what do you feel in response to Alan feeling the way he does about, you know, the characters? Like, do you wish they would have done more with the people too, or what do you feel?
Honestly, I think they could have done a lot more when it comes to the people. One of the biggest problems I had is, like Alan said, it's just set pieces. Like the people are just set pieces to move on to the next monster battle, and essentially that's what everyone's there for. They're there for the big monster battle. They want to see the ape versus the lizard. There's really all that's really attractive for this film. It's not like it's trying to be any kind of high art class film or Oscar winner, but I don't know. I feel like they could have made the human interactions a little bit more tighter, because as much as we wanted, like, oh, it's just a dumb, you know, action film, I still like the original Godzilla from the people's interaction. I know people didn't like it, but I felt like them giving personality to some of the characters. That way, when they did have these giant set pieces that they participated with Godzilla, I did feel more of a threat for them. Where at a certain point, I was like, man, this one lady, is she Gal Gadot? I completely forgot what character she was. I completely forgot what danger she was.
The villain
I was just trying to figure out if she was Gal Gadot, the scientist lady.
No, she wasn't.
Oh, no. If you said the villain chick, I'm like, oh, okay, I can almost get that now. That main chick was not like her at all.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, well, I mean, does she have at least the same skin color? It's like, I don't even think that
Not
either.
really.
But
That's what I say, the villainous chick, because, like, I can almost understand that.
But here's the thing too, like about her, and I said this yesterday, but like I think that she was a little too villainous sometimes, like a little too bitchy, and like right away you see her, and like look right away, I'm just gonna call it like it is. She was very pretty, okay. She shows up though, and it's like that was gonna be her thing of like, I'm so pretty and I'm wearing such a nice fucking suit thing, whatever. I'm just an in charge bitch, and that's her whole character the entire time. I'm like, is there a part where you're gonna like be scared or like have a different emotion other than you're a bitch? Is that all you got for fucking 2 hours? Like,
basically, because this is a classic disaster movie slash, anytime they have a military-esque, where it's like, they didn't have the bravado, hey, we're military, we know military, we can handle this, let the big boys play type shit. So like, okay, let's essentially de facto it to one character. And that's her, where she's supposed to be kind of the asshole, because it's like, that way when the villain happens, you're like, oh, that kind of makes sense. We have
like,
the only
her
person
plan
that
is to get these things to go to the Hollow Earth, and like, there's a part where like when Godzilla first comes up and Khan's stuck with the chains, she's like, throw the ape in the water. I'm like, that won't even fucking help you, you dumbass. Like, you came here with all this money and all these investments from like your father and all these people, and you're willing to kill the ape just because you
might die though. Like to be fair, like look, I know the whole mission. I'm like, she also doesn't want to fucking die.
True, I know. I guess you're right, but it's like, I would be in that situation. I'm like, look, that Godzilla is fucking destroying everything just by swimming.
Yeah.
So like, my only chance of living is to take the chains off, monkey. So
Free the monkey.
Pretty much, but also at the end of the day, and I like that the movie did this. Apes can't swim.
Yeah,
I didn't point that out. And he tries because again, any single species that's put into a situation they don't want to be in, they'll try their best to get out of there. He's actually really bad at swimming. That's why Godzilla's fucking up in the water. But yeah, apes can't actually swim because why the fuck would they ever need to? The only reason humans can swim is because we use it to get away from predators. It's really the only fucking reason. But Mauricio was asking me for the chat as far as the science of this movie. This movie is very I don't want to say smart in the way of its actual in-universe lore. It's smart in its writing because it never explicitly goes out of its way to try to be like, oh, like, look at this, like, stop, we're going to stop the movie, talk about science. They give you just enough to be like, yeah, this universe has its own science, but we're going to kind of stay outside of it as if, like, you're basically the audience. Like, you're literally a person in this world where it's like, oh, explain a cell phone. Well, you don't have to explain a cell phone in every movie. The cell phone exists. You know how a cell phone works, even if you can't explain it. So you deal with this Kong stuff, like, yeah, we know monsters exist, but unless somebody asks, it doesn't matter to the plot of the movie. The interesting thing was about the gravity. That's basically, long story short, yeah, the whole gravity thing is pretty fucking accurate. you go into the center of a fucking planet, eventually gravity will equalize out and there will be a shift. It's a little bit for movie magic, but it's pretty close to what would actually happen.
Yeah, but really quick, I'm going to throw this to Roxy for a second because the thing is, I want to talk about that main villain, and as far as like the question of would you put the science or like their science, well, more so than that, I'm going to talk about what I thought of like technology or lack of technology. Roxy, I gotta get your opinion, but for me, the way they got rid of Mechagodzilla was some of the dumbest fucking shit I've ever seen. To the point where when I saw that, I was like, wow, I was enjoying this, but go fuck yourself. Roxy, what'd you feel about Mechagodzilla as well as how they beat this guy?
When it came to Mechagodzilla, Garrett and I pretty much called it from the beginning when we saw that big ass eye. It's fucking obvious. It literally hits you right in the face. You know what's gonna come next. So I was interested to see where they were going with this. Like some of the technology that they had, that one character who was like controlling Mechagodzilla for the beginning, it looked pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. But the one thing that I gave them in terms of Mechagodzilla was typically with these kinds of monsters or with these kinds of things, you always hear like, oh, we made it to be indestructible. Nothing can get through it. Nothing can penetrate it. The only one thing that can break it down is if you hit it in this particular exact spot right by its ass at a 20-degree angle going at least 700 miles an hour. Then this will fall apart. I'll give them that. They didn't do that over-specific shit, but it looked cool the way Mechagodzilla died. At least towards the end where he like ripped out his head and you saw a little bit of his spinal cord. I like that.
Yeah.
It was pretty fucking dumb.
I actually didn't mind. Look, yeah, oh, hey, movie magic, alcohol did it. I would have been mad if he just shut him down, but like, oh, we just damaged him by like 8%. He can't move this one part of his body. He still had the rest of his going down. Oh, we shut him down for a second. What they should have done is did like a reset for 1 second, and then it's like, oh, that's just enough to get him out of the hold.
Yeah.
I didn't mind. I'm like, it was a little, yeah, like, I'm not going to die on the hill, like, and get back people like, that's really dumb. But I'm like, I kind of like that. It's like, yeah, the humans actually did something. They damaged him by 10%, just enough to help Kong win. I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
And that's fine, but it's like, for me, I just feel like, damn, dude, like, I mean, especially when they come in and, like, it's such an accidental win, like, man, I'm going to drink this because I'm going to die drunk. That's why I'm going to do that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like...
By the way, that's not enough alcohol to die drunk unless you've never drank before in your life.
Exactly.
No, like, you understand that, like, yes, technology, wires and shit is susceptible to liquids, is susceptible to dust and all these other things. But you would think they would have thought ahead about this just a little bit.
Well,
we have such advanced technology to have this dude's eyes, the dude who's running Mechagodzilla, have his eyes turn fucking Snow White and have all these like RGB or whatever the fuck colors around him and it looks pretty and shit. You had all the time to do all that, but not once did you fucking think, hey, maybe we should make this like somewhat waterproof. How is something gonna be so fucking advanced but not be waterproof at least to some kind of basic degree? Like, oh, I'm a fat fuck and I spilled my gallon of Kool-Aid all over my workspace. Oh, it's cool. We got water protection.
I mean,
fine.
in all fairness, most things that run electricity aren't waterproof. Like, there's a ventilation for the heat, and it's like, it would have caused an issue. That's why it's like, I don't want to die on this hill, but I don't think it's that big of a deal because all it did was stop, like, all it did was like short circuit him for a second and then stop the tail from moving. That was, he broke out himself and Godzilla helped him out.
Alan, put it this way: we have sex robots that can take jizz.
Yeah.
God just destroyed a keyboard like last week.
Build-up.
Well,
You're telling
his
me
keyboard
we
sucks.
can build a fake machine with titties
That's a pretty good
that can
keyboard.
take your fucking sticky man butter, but we can't make these fucking electronics that are super fucking advanced just a little waterproof? But meanwhile, we got a fucking machine that jacks you off and eats your ass and pumps milk in your face from fucking titties and is waterproof, perfectly fine, jizz proof. But no, this advanced ass technology, we can't at least waterproof it just a little bit.
No,
It's the different machine. You're not sticking your dick in it.
No,
Okay,
but still,
what
like,
if I
even goes
wanted-
down
what
to, like,
if I
even
was watching
washers.
porn? What if I was watching porn at work and then I'm like, oh, let me just jack off real quick, and then I
into
nut
the
it on my
system?
keyboard?
No,
Why
they have it.
don't
That's
we
a well-done
have
thing.
water protection?
No, yeah, that's an actual a big thing with people. Chris saying they need to let Roxy write the sequel. No, but like another thing too, it's like, think about people like in every single movie, in every single real life situation. I mean, we were talking about movies, but also like in real life, man. I can guarantee you, if Alan and Roxy got to put the cameras on right now and show like the area that they're sitting at, they probably have a Starbucks coffee or a soda or a water or something next to the computer. You mean to tell me that this big multi-billion-dollar super duper technology gonna kill millions of people ass machine doesn't have a safety partition in place for like, whoops, I dropped my cappuccino. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, that's one of the dumber things I've seen. Oh, and Corey's calling me, so whatever point you're gonna make, you won. I'll be right back.
Honestly, no, he didn't win. That shit was dumb. That's one of the problems I have with a lot of like advanced technology shit. Is you kind of have to like they get to the point that it's like sci-fi like god shit, and you have to come up with like these simple like MacGuffins in order to like defeat these big baddies. Because if not, the character's so OP that the motherfucker's gonna win the movie. Nobody wants to see that shit.
And another thing, which I gotta bring up. Some people are going to take this the wrong way and be like, oh, here you guys go. Y'all always negative. Y'all always talk shit. Why can't y'all just enjoy the movie? Motherfucker, we never said that we didn't enjoy the movie. All we're saying is, if you can fuck a robot and it can take your fucking jizz, why can't this super advanced ass technology take a little bit of liquid? We're just pointing out some plot holes. We're not saying that we didn't fucking enjoy it. For fuck's sake, man. Be realistic just a little bit. Mamma mia, Papa Pia, baby's got the diarrhea.
Sure. Anyway, your man destroyed a keyboard last fucking week. Like, spilling liquid on electronic habits all
I really hope
time.
a government corporation / like secret agency will like put more like hardware tech into their services than just fucking Corsair keyboards, RGB lighting, bro.
They cut corners all the time.
Just saying.
Anyway, we can move on for this point and just move on to as far as what the rest of it is. This is the part where it's like, look, I enjoyed the movie and I probably won't give a higher rating than a lot of y'all. But the thing is, and it's mostly because of like again the in between stuff. To me, I feel like it wasn't treated with as much effort as it was to make the guys look cool or to get the set pieces in the right place. So that to me is like why I'm like I'd say 3.5 out of 5. I'm like it was really really good. I like Kong Skull Island better because I felt like it was everything was done a lot better from the fights to the people to just a scenario in which they were in. But the one thing, and this did not lower my rating at all, I didn't like the fights that much. There was something missing, and this is.
I almost think you're fucking with me.
No. I want to just yell at me all you want. It's only because of my elitist fucking views on fight choreography. This all the reason is like I wanted a little bit more focus, a little bit less editing, pan the camera back a little bit, do a little bit more tracking shots because they do a couple of them like when Godzilla's in the Hollow Earth. Oh, not Godzilla, King Kong's in the Hollow Earth and he's spinning around. I'm like, that was really fucking cool. Show me more of that. Like, this is a very elitist fucking standpoint. But I'm just like, there are a few things where I'm like, pan the camera back a little bit. Like, there are little things. There were great shots, and this was better than any fight in King of Monsters. But I'm just like, I like the fights in Kong Skull Island better, and that's just me.
What are you asking for exactly? Because with your background and knowledge of fight choreography, are you expecting like Godzilla to do like some John Wick shit, like kill King Kong with some fucking a tube of toothpaste and like paper clips? Is that what you're asking?
No, obviously I'm not expecting fucking kung fu kicks and shit like that. But like to me, I was looking at this going, this is good, but it Fred might describe it as it's a wrestling match. I'm like, yeah, it's a really really good wrestling match. For me, it's like what I wanted was a little bit more because here's the Nick saying, "Oh, the fight scenes weren't as long." I'm like, yeah, also extend the fight scenes a little bit. It's like almost there. You almost nailed it.
And here comes King Kong with the chair.
I know, like.
I mean, pretty much. You had a fucking like axle though. You get a giant chair too.
Because like the thing that like for me,
man,
like I completely
straight through a pilot in his own plane at the fucking Godzilla. King Kong don't give no fucks. I'm surprised he didn't pick up a building and use it as a battering ram.
I'm really like I super disagree with Alan on that. Other than like because like the thing is like I wish there was more fight scenes, but like as far as like how they did them, it's like it's a big Kong and big Godzilla and Kong like especially in the middle of the movie when he's shipping around from building to building and doing some like Ninja Gaiden shit.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting thing. I don't know, like I'm just shocked. That's all. But I guess I'll be fair and let you feel that way. But like for me, I just like like choreography, I think that doesn't even fit in a movie like this. It's almost like when you brought that up with Jason Takes Manhattan, which, you know, and I always make fun of Alan with this, but it's like, it's not exactly the way I always say what it is, where it's like it's something about choreography, but it's like, he did say, you know, I like the choreographed fight scene with Jason and that boxer, and I'm like, yeah, but that's not choreography. Like, it's a dude standing and the dude's punching him. Like,
Yeah, it was again the way it was filmed, the way it's kind of panned back. It was like, yeah, that's a terrible fucking movie, but whatever. But with this, it's like it's very much because it's like, yeah, well, I like a very specific thing, and this was most people really fucking enjoyed it. So I don't want to sit there and say it at all lowered my fucking review or anything. I was just kind of going there, going, I don't know, I wanted more, but again, I started this off very elitist when it comes to fights, and this is a very well done action scene. It had a lot of great moments, like when Godzilla gets knocked out at some point, and it just focuses on like a fucking. I've seen that shot in, like UFC fights where they fucking focus on the camera, and the dude just fucking collapses. I'm like, that was really, really well done. But I wanted just a little bit more. Again, pan the camera back a little bit, focus the shot a little bit less editing. Like I don't know. And again, I watch a lot of fucking anime fight scenes, so I'm like, I want some crazier shit. But like, I know that's asking too much, and maybe they'll like in the next Kong movie, I'll get more of that because. I don't know if they're gonna do another Godzilla movie, but they could definitely do another Kong movie.
Yeah. No, well, it is what it is, because, you know, I'm looking over here in our chat, and Chris Ayers... Oh, apparently my shit's not even updating. My bad, y'all. This shit's all fucked up. He says, was this a choreography? Okay, punch him in the face and just keep doing it until you get tired, and we'll just... Oh, yeah, the Jason thing. But no, like, for me, too, I just think...
That's one movie. Like, y'all get some new fucking material. Like, it's like, you're gonna bring up that one time, and I'm like, I thought about 100 other fucking movies.
No, like some of the movies I agree with you on, but like not to make, because I don't want to like insult like what you're into, and I feel like this is actually a pretty good discussion because you can kind of use that towards me, where maybe it's like, oh well, your version of horror is not the best way, but like for me, it's like you brought up like the Matrix once, and like for me, like because I used to, I don't know as much choreography stuff as you do. But like I will say, Matrix is some of the worst shit ever. Like I mean, it's pretty fucking horrible. And like one time,
bro, like people have issues. I'll let you finish one.
Well, no, because like the one thing I want to bring up is like I remember we watched the behind the scenes of something, and we're talking about like, you know, the wire fu that's going on, and I remember like, oh dude, like that wire fu and the fucking the CGI. You're like, dude, no, like they're just doing like a lot of practical stuff, and I was like, maybe I'm misunderstanding you or something because we watched it together and like. That was some like Photoshop, like not even that. Like people like got a cursor and dragged another GIF and then just swung it at the other GIF. Like it was like the silliest shit ever. And I'm like, maybe there's a certain point where I just don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
The thing is, the particular scene you're talking about is we were talking about in Matrix 2 with the Smith fight, the 1000 Smith fight. There was like, oh, this is some CGI garbage. I'm like, no, most of that is actually practical. The specific one from Matrix 1, that's the movie I'll die on as far as how good a lot of the shots are. Is the way that the camera is focusing on the character, the way you're able to see a lot of the moves going on, the environment. There's a lot of stuff in there that movie's ripped off for years to fucking come. And yes, The Matrix isn't original. It ripped off shit from Ghost in the Shell and a bunch of other animes. But as far as like for North American audiences, no one's ever seen anything like that. But as far as a lot of the other stuff that comes to choreography, it's like, for instance, the Ip Man quadrilogy, almost all the fights in there are very fantastic. And yes, they're people, you could do that a lot easier, but a lot of the same foundations you see in there. You see where the camera is, you see how it's focused, not necessarily behind him, but kind of on an angle, so you get to see what he's seeing, what he's about to fight. You get to see how everyone's kind of focusing around him, and the almost dance-like flow he goes from person to person, and it's engaging to watch. It's like you know, people watching Cirque du Soleil. You see the choreography of the dance move.
You know what?
That's how I like watching fight scenes.
I think I just realized something too. Because I brought that up with Kill Bill, where I thought that looked silly, and I'm looking at this because we're talking about the Matrix thing, and then like with Ip Man, this happens too. Do you just like fights with like numerous people versus one guy?
Oh, 100%. Some of my favorite fights are like that. I also like when there's one-on-one, the raid when he fights in the apartment. Like for me, I like one-on-one fights, but if you're asking me what my favorite fight scenes are, it's usually one guy versus or one or two guys versus a lot of people. Those are my favorite fights.
I'm surprised I didn't notice that before. No, but go ahead. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting.
Oh, no, that's all good. I'm surprised I didn't bring it up earlier because I actually mentioned that plenty of times in the chat. Like, Fast and Furious, Fast 8 has one of my favorite fucking fight scenes with Jason Statham and The Rock because they're just breaking out of prison. And it's both of them just going through this gauntlet of random dudes. And yeah, again, you see a lot of this stuff going on. It is like, again, it's like watching a dance. The raid, the machete fight is my favorite fight in the entire fucking movie. because there is so much going on from there. From you could just read the story. It's again, you almost read what's going on in each character's mind as they're going through this fight. With this, it's like you got the same thing in this movie. You got that emotion. You got that. You can understand what again. None of these characters talk, but in Godzilla vs Kong, you got to see what everyone was feeling throughout the whole fucking time. You could almost like speech bubbles. Like if this is a comic book, you could pause every frame and figure out kind of what was on their mind, what's going on, and that's a telltale sign of a good fight. It's just to me, it's like I wanted a little bit more. Pan the camera out a little bit. Have it more one shot / tracking shots. Change up the angles a little bit more. Less editing.
Mm-hmm. I get you. Yeah, I mean, there's certain things I would have done too. I probably wouldn't have done those things, but like, I kind of see what you mean. I like being pulled back because I was so sick of the Batman and comic book stuff where it's always zoomed in.
Yeah, exactly.
All that stuff. So yeah, I mean, but it's all good. Kirsten, I can picture Alan in his bedroom wearing his underwear fighting air. Actually, I've done that.
That's so fuck. I've done it. Yeah. Totally. 100%. Sometimes like not necessarily like acting out the exact fight scenes I've seen, but if I was like I'm a writer too, so it's like sometimes I want to think like, oh, how would I want my characters to fight? I imagine what it would be like. Not in my underwear. I would be just in whatever I'm wearing, my pajamas. But yeah, it's fun.
I like wearing
listen to music and figure it out.
Yeah, I like wearing my underwear when I do it, for sure. Oh, what the hell happened here? My whole fucking thing messed up. I guess I grabbed it. Hold on 1 second, people. I gotta fix this. We can't have this going on over here. The lump-sided fucking Google Meet call. There we go. Boom. There we go. Oh, it's all good now. I almost told you, too. I was like, hey, Alan, your face is outside of the center. Oh, wait, no, it's my fault.
No, it probably is. I keep fucking it up.
No, it's my fault. I'm stupid. Burgers Blue saying, these days I prefer fight scenes that look like a continuous shot. Yeah, me too. Marvel Netflix shows have made me want that. After Daredevil, I was like, oh, dude, I want that more. That was cool as fuck. I know it got overdone, and that's why I'm probably like, oh, Jesus, but no.
No, actually, I think they're good. It's just, I think that, okay, my biggest issue is, I like continuous one-shots when they're done well. My problem is when people see one-shots, they're really like, oh, that's the coolest thing ever! And I'm like, it's really not. If you see what the dude's doing, I'm going to call out the Protector. Everyone's like, look at that amazing, 8-minute one-shot. Did you see what he's doing in there? Like, obviously it's impressive. He's an actor, physical actor, he's doing his hardest. It's really not that interesting. Daredevil Season 2, it changed from environment to environment, so you got to see he goes multiple floors and they set it up very perfectly where it went really, really well. It's more of a long take than a one shot, but most one shots are not that interesting.
Yeah, no, I kind of see what you mean too. I mean, there's sometimes too where people hide one shots, it'll follow somebody and then there's a pole that gets in the middle of the frame, and that's where they cut. But people are like, it's one shot. It's like, no, that's an editing technique. The pole is literally in the frame, motherfucker.
Oh yeah. Sometimes you can tell really, really well exactly where they're gonna edit. Sometimes they just say fuck it. Again, the Daredevil Season 2, it's a long take, and then at one point it's a hard edit. I can pause it right there's the edit. You can see the scene. That's where the edit is.
Yeah. No. When someone gets kicked into the camera and then it zooms out. Yeah, it's funny shit. But I mean, yeah, I do like those moments too. Still, it is what it is. But no, as far as Godzilla vs Kong, there's not really much else to talk about here. I mean, he gave his rating. I think we're all sticking with our rating, and hopefully the next Godzilla movie is actually pretty cool. Moving on though, I actually want to give this completely to you, dude. Mass Effect 2. You've been asking to review this for a while, and I will say that I'm getting hyped for that new fucking Legendary Collection. It's coming out May something.
Yeah, that's actually kind of why I started replaying I'm going to get more into focus. That's actually why I started replaying the game, because I was looking at the Legendary Edition, and I know a bunch of people that are Mass Effect fans oh, I can't wait to get it. And are you going to get it? I'm like, no. I love the series, but I already have all the DLC and everything already, and all the games and everything. So I'm like, short of it looking good, I don't really see a point in getting it. I have the games already. I have them on PC, so it's not like they're on some fucking lost console I'll never fucking play again. But it's it doesn't to me seem like there's no purpose for me to buying it. But I want to replay it because I've had a very controversial stance on the series. Personally, I think the best one is the first one. I've said that, and I've had screaming matches with everybody I know. That because I've had a lot of issues with Mass Effect 2. And I did review Mass Effect 1 months ago when I played and beat it. And I was able to play and beat that within 2 sittings. 13 hours. I've beaten that game at this point 16 times. I had to get through that game almost no fucking problem. And I did almost no fucking problem. And it stood out, and I understood why it was such an incredible game. But a lot of stuff aged. A lot of stuff that I originally liked, I was like, oh, this isn't as good as I thought it was. The crosshairs, the combat is good, but it's definitely improved in subsequent sequels. So when I played 2 back in the day, I remember not liking it. I remember there being like I had a laundry list of fucking reasons, and some reasons were completely people did not fucking understand why I did not fucking like it. One of the big one was he's showing gameplay right now. You don't reload in Mass Effect 1. There is no reload button in that. It is just based on heat. And they have an in-universe explanation. Dedicate like 3 pages in universe lore, in the codex, in there, to explain why you don't need to reload in that fucking game. And I remember fucking what's up? Oh shit, Brian.
No, I saw it. I'm trying not to. I want to interrupt you and everything. I want to interrupt our show just in general. But yeah, dude, it's doing it again. As a matter of fact, here's the thing. I'm gonna host us really quick. So don't talk about the thing again yet until I give you the cube. I'm just gonna host us so they know what's going on.
Understood.
Let me see. All right, so we're being hosted, guys. I don't know if Corey's on right now. I think the thing messed up, but hopefully you guys can actually see us. Just want to say that they are definitely messing up quite a bit. Ryan just let us know as you guys can see on this bottom of the chat. Synth Kill us saying, okay, y'all looking pretty again. So I guess everything is back to normal.
Okay.
But if it's not, there's not much we're gonna do. We're gonna be leaving soon, and I can't go back and forth with Corey's stream and our stream the whole fucking time. But anyways, continue on, good sir.
Alrighty then. So, like I said, the whole reloading thing and the in-universe explanation, to be very quick, is Mass Effect is a phenomenon in which if you put a positive current, it increases the mass. Negative current decreases the mass. So for them to basically make bullets, the gun shaves off a small piece of metal and fires and increases its mass so that it's a regular like 50 caliber bullet, for instance, in a pistol, and it fires it out. Which means you don't need it's the size of a grain of rice. So you actually really only need like a pound of fucking metal in there, and everything's perfectly good. So you only have to worry about heat waste. I remember playing Mass Effect 2 being fucking screaming mad because they added a reload feature. I'm like, why the fuck did they do that? Fucking EA is like, well, shooters need reloading, so add reload. And I know I'm dying on the weirdest fucking hill, but it is a situation where I'm like, why did they add the SID? And I remember, this isn't the first time I played Mass Effect 2. This is probably number 8. But again, I'm very, very stubborn. So when I'm set in my ways, it takes a lot for me to change. And I love Mass Effect 1. It's one of my favorite games of all time. So playing, again, all the DLC and everything for Mass Effect 2, but I never felt like I gave it a proper chance. So replaying 1, I was like, you know what, let me actually give it a proper chance. And I started realizing I'm wrong about Mass Effect 2. As much as there are still things in that game I don't like, this game is phenomenal. This is the definition of a sequel. It takes what works in the original and it makes it better. All the dialogue options are increased. All the story stuff that I loved in the first one gets even more. The reloading gets explained. It basically was an evolution of the world versus me just thinking it was an executive decision. The events of Mass Effect 1 and them dealing with the robots, they had a better gun system, so they adopted that because they fought them and they were losing, but they adopted their gun system. Now they even out the battlefield. That makes a lot of fucking sense. And they go through and explain it, and I love the explanation. All of the characters, I gave a chance. I actually got to know them. It's like, yeah, there are a few lame ones, but the majority of the game is like, yeah, go find all these people to basically complete this mission, and everyone has their own individual unique story, and it was incredible to kind of go through that again with fresh eyes, where I'm not just sitting there going, this isn't Mass Effect 1, so it's not as good as Mass Effect 2. That was unfair. And playing it through this time, like, the problems I have with Mass Effect 2 are still there, but they're not as glaring, because for every bad thing in this game, there's 10 good things. And yeah, out of left opinion, Mass Effect 2 is good, but it got me thinking. I hate Mass Effect 3. I fucking despise that game from start to
before
finish.
you play that again? Because you might be wrong about that shit too,
But that's what's exciting, because I was talking to Ganja. I'm like, maybe I'll like Mass Effect 3.
No.
Maybe, dude. Again, you've had yelling matches about the fact that Mass Effect 2 doesn't have a plot, which, yes, it doesn't, but the character moments make up for that, and it has a simplistic plot that allows it to branch. But again, we've had screaming matches about how I hate every single thing from Mass Effect 3 from start to finish. Maybe it'll be good this time.
No.
Why do you feel that, Mr. Ganja?
Because that ending, dog. How much are they going to change that ending before they actually just change the series completely? Don't get me wrong. They are releasing a remaster, and it's well in their right to do it, especially with the official company release. But more than likely, they're just copy and pasting this job so they can just re-release onto a console and make some easy money.
That's
but
about it.
If they do change the ending, I might give it a shot. But
They're not going to change the ending. They're not going to add assets.
If you keep that same ending, dog, it doesn't matter. Because all your choices don't mean shit at the end.
Oh, it was so bad. And for people that are wondering, by the way, so that was my review of Mass Effect 2. Fantastic fucking game. Combat is amazing. Story is amazing. The whole world, it definitely, like, it adds way more to the universe than I ever thought was possible, especially giving it a chance. And honestly, if you ever felt the same way, where like you didn't really dig the series, go back and play it. Or wait till the Legendary Edition and play it again. I just don't know what they're going to change in Legendary Edition, because I know they're changing a lot of Mass Effect 1. Because, of course, they had to. The game is dated as fuck. But I don't know what they're going to change. I'd rather be fresh with that. As far as what I'm expecting Mass Effect 3, I'm going to say my pre-review. Mass Effect 3 is one of the worst games I've ever fucking played in my life. The entire premise of the story is the Reapers are here and everything's happening and it's the apocalypse. Everything's ending. What do you do for a majority of that? Go fuck around on your ship and joke around with your buddies and chill on the Citadel, have a beer, go on stupid fucking side missions. I don't mean like saving the galaxy. I mean, oh, I have no items in my shop. Shepard, can you help me? Yeah, sure, don't worry. I'll go get your fucking bullshit from this corner of space while thousands of people are dying all over the fucking galaxy. Yeah, sure, buddy. That's fucking like a priority right now. And it just felt
thousands. They stress out. There's millions of people dying.
They give you a number. Every day on Earth, like 30,000 people die. Every day. So you're doing this stupid, pointless mission. 100,000 people die because you want to get this dude an object in his fucking store. And it's like this whole big war is happening, but unless it's an individual mission, you have no fucking idea what's going on. It doesn't even feel like there's a war going on. So it's like imagine it's like, oh, it's World War I and you're watching a World War I movie, but you're chilling in fucking Canada. It's like, oh, there's a war? Huh. Well, jolly. Like, you don't notice it. And the ending is not the worst part of that game. It is not. The ending of Mass Effect 3 is just as bad as the rest of the game. Everyone's saying that the ending is the worst part of the game. Did not play that game that well because it is just as bad. The dialogue choices are almost irrelevant because they already had to set endings. So it's literally binary. Either you fuck it up completely or you don't. There's no in between. The fucking endings for all the characters are pretty much, you could call them as what's going to be good, what's going to be bad. I wonder if the Corans are going to get their home. I wonder what the two binary fucking answers are. It's like there's so much in that game that just they shat it out, and you could tell because they literally admitted to it. Like this game was like a year and a half or 2 years development. It needed another 2 years to actually extend those fucking stories.
Yeah, your boy in the chat.
Yeah,
like,
fuck
you. Still
you.
complain about this
He
shit.
was one of the motherfuckers I yelled at with. I will never forget Mass Effect 3's ending. But hey, maybe I'll like it this time.
I know. I'm very curious to see if you're gonna still feel that same way. Yeah, but no, man. Really quick, guys. If you guys are still watching this, anyone in the so that's the whole thing. I host ourselves, but because the stream messed up with double toasts, people are going right back and forth between us to the point where we have 137 people watching us right now. But guys, go back. Like I love that you guys are here, but seriously, go back because Corey's on now. But I don't know. I unhosted. I don't know what's going on, dude. The internet's fucked up. So go enjoy that. I'm not trying to pull no shit. Go enjoy DT. But anyways, it fucking sucks too because I hate to tell them to leave us because I actually think we're having a way better conversation than fucking they are right now. But at the same time, it's just like imagine like Corey says something, all of a sudden Alan comes in and Mass Effect fucking 2.
Yeah, that was been weird as fuck. Just hearing me yell about Mass Effect. He's like, that kid's like 10 fucking years old.
Yeah, because I even watched the stream and I swear to God, dude, it's like going from Corey and then it goes to you, and then it's Corey and then you, and then Corey and then you.
You see, that was bad at Alan. Yeah, well, they can go fuck themselves if they like Mass Effect 3.
No, it's funny too because Ryan's like the chat was mad at Alan, so I guess people are in DT's chat arguing like.
I was gonna go to DT attack going fuck y'all, but I might get in trouble going what the hell? Oh fuck it, I gotta do it. What's Corey gonna do? Fuck me. They fire me.
What's Corey gonna do? Take me from the back?
I mean, honestly, both are true. It's not like he's gonna do anything. He can't fire me. I don't technically work for him.
Just imagine Corey like, what do you think of Mass Effect 3 now? It still sucks. Take this dick, you motherfucker.
I mean, look, man. I didn't think I'd like change my entire opinion on Mass Effect 2. Like, there are still issues with that game. At the end of the day, by the way, BioWare. I don't know if you fixed this problem. I don't think you did. You do not know how to make a map. Holy shit. I've never seen a company that can't do like a basic thing. Like every map in every game they've ever had has been terrible. It's usually like play Grand Theft Auto. What's a Grand Theft Auto map? It's a GPS. You get to go in, you can zoom in as much as you want, you can set a waypoint, you can do all this cool shit. Skyrim, it's this big open, almost like a table map. You can do all this cool shit with it. Legend of Zelda, it's like you have this big kind of wide open area. All the maps in those games are all really good. What's a Mass Effect in every BioWare game? It's usually just a picture. So, well, here's the map. Where am I? Who cares? What's the point of this then?
Oh, we said too. And the picture.
It is.
Oh,
Look, the maps are terrible. I don't know if you can Google search a map for Mass Effect 2, but it's fucking terrible.
Let me see, because I will say they didn't really do a better job at that with Anthem either.
Yeah, BioWare does not know how to make maps.
Yeah, dude, Jesus Christ! I'm looking at this right now. That's I mean, does this count as a map? It looks like Stellaris.
Scroll a little bit down.
There we
Yeah, there we go. That. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, that's ridiculous, dude.
There's no "you are here." Like sometimes the fucking they don't even highlight like "go here." They're like just figure it out from the codex. It's fucking terrible.
Oh, that's funny shit, man. Yeah, but no, I don't know. But you know, I know that there's a lot of stuff that I didn't really pay too much attention because I was talking to the other chat. But essentially, man, because we will wrap this up somewhat soon. But what are some things that you feel like you haven't brought up yet with Mass Effect 2, and also your rating in general out of 5?
As far as what I haven't brought up, I think that my biggest issue was when I played Mass Effect 1, I felt like there was at least a decent enough plot where it's like, hey, Saren is attacking, you're trying to figure out why, it's a mystery, you figure out what's going on, and you lead up to that. Whereas Mass Effect 2 is, hey, this stuff's happening in the background, but that's not the focus of the game. Because the focus of the game is we got to get all these interesting characters so that you can just fight them. It's really not. There's a twist in there, but you discovered that pretty early. So it's basically like, but it's in between. Like they always expected they wanted to have a trilogy. So the in between movie isn't really a story driven movie. It's we got to get all these characters so that we can make a big impact on Mass Effect 3. So once I essentially got over myself, I'm like, look, I need to understand what this is. So I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, let me dwell more into the story. Let me get to know these characters a lot more. And I started picking out favorites and just started enjoying the game a lot more. So I had to essentially get over myself and admit, like, hey, this game is fucking awesome. It's not Mass Effect 1, and you're taking it too hard on this game that's doing everything else amazing. And as far as my rating, this is easily 9 out of 10. It's like this is up there with one of the best games ever made.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you feel that way, man. Because that's one of those things. This is actually, I'm saying this because people are probably watching Chris right now and everything. But like Chris Herman, this is his #1 favorite game, literally of all time. And
it's a good one. It's really a good one to have as your #1.
Yeah, and Jet's brought this up too. Yeah, so I don't know if Jet's watching, but yeah, like everyone I talked to about Mass Effect is like, this is the one that's brought up, in a positive light. So I'm pretty glad that you enjoyed this. But I will say, dude, I'm very, very curious to see you. I think you're gonna eat your own words, to be honest. I think that Mass Effect 3, you're gonna play that and you're gonna be like, you know what, I was a little wrong, but we'll see.
Maybe. It'd be surprising because again, I got over myself in Mass Effect 2, but then again, Godzilla could also be right. That game could also be fucking terrible still.
I can't wait to be right.
One last thing before we get out of here, I'm going to actually give this to Ganja first. Believe it or not, I know I never do this with video game topics or topics in general, but CD Projekt Red is reconsidering Cyberpunk 2077 multiplayer. Ganja, what are you feeling about this, man? For somebody who actually did play that game and saw it all fucked up.
How the fuck are you gonna plan a new feature when your whole main base game just fucking keeps crashing, even though you just released a new patch, man? They're just trying to keep their investors happy because of the whole thing kind of really fucked up their shares. But honestly, man, I gave it up on the whole series.
Yeah, I gave up on CD Projekt Red in general. Not to say that they didn't make some good games, or whatever. I didn't know too much about them. I didn't even get to play Witcher 3 more than 10 minutes, so whatever. But I feel like lots of people just saw a couple things they did and were like, oh, they're great, and it's like, well, they're great, but they spend some time in between releases, so it's of course they're gonna be good if they're an actual legitimate okay fucking group of people to be making games. Where I'm really impressed is when really big studios that are always busy are constantly pumping out content and it's all quality, which never happens either. But these guys is they're finally under pressure and they crumbled under the pressure. And I do think that the pressure was almost unfair, man. You guys gotta consider that the end of them making this game was during a new console fucking generation, coronavirus, all
they got
shit.
fucked over by their marketing department.
Yeah, that too. There's a lot.
They realized they announced it way too early, and instead of a situation where they needed another 2 years, honestly, they needed another 2 years easily to put all the features in. They just kept essentially cutting stuff until they could just essentially make a somewhat deep playable build, and I use playable in the loosest terms possible. and they just essentially released a piece of shit because they figured they can get away with it. They got fucked by the marketing department. They've had there's been like articles and new videos from like developer fucking talks where it's like they were telling the developers the developers essentially getting unfairly shunted for this when it was the marketing saying fuck it, who cares? But they're like, this game is not gonna work. This game is you're gonna fuck our name up. And it's like I love CD Projekt Red. Like Witcher 3 isn't just it's okay game. It's one of my favorite open world games ever made. So seeing this, I was excited because I'm like open world, different perspective, and I could see it's weird because like it's like they cut away so much, but I could see what this could have been. It's like seeing like one finger in the fucking statue of David, but you can see the rest of the shit on the ground. You're like, this could be incredible, but they fucked it up, and it's like I get why they're cutting all the features because essentially they're doing what Assassin's Creed Unity did. Assassin's Creed Unity launched in a way more fucked up state, and they spent a month basically fixing it up where it was great. But they had all these season pass plans and like, you know what, fuck it, we're giving it for free. We're not gonna fucking charge people for this based on how bad this launch is because we got to get good faith back, and they did eventually. But with the CD Projekt Red, it's like, yeah, it makes sense to cancel the multiplayer because they're just like, well, we're not gonna take that team and split it up. Let's just get this game going because they can save it. If they basically spend like a year fixing it up, and like in 2022, hey guys, we're adding this fucking DLC campaign. It's gonna be fucking $10 or whatever. It adds a whole new map, does all this shit, does all this cool stuff. People are like, you know what? It's good. It's like a No Man's Sky or Warframe or Rainbow Six Siege. They can fix it after the fact.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you there, but I will say that it's like at this point, work on something else. I don't want them to now be known as Cyberpunk, fucking group, because like that's the thing, they were known as the Witcher group. They worked on this thing called Gwent. I don't know if it's a game or an app, but like it was like Gwent.
It's a game based on in-game. Basically, in Witcher 3, there's a card game called Gwent. It was the most popular thing in the game, which infuriates me because I still don't know how to play it. And then they decided to make their own version of it, which was decently popular, but not as popular as the in-game 1 and 3.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, Witcher 1, 2, 3, and then the adventure game and then some other shit. It's like they just did Witcher shit. And it's like, I know those games are good. That's cool, especially for its time. Yeah. But it's like, you should never ever, like, look at what Rockstar does, man. They're not just known as the Grand Theft Auto group. They've done lots of other shit. Not a ton of different things. Bully is just another version of that. Red Dead Redemption is just another version of that. But it's something. And to give, guys some points here, Paradox. For a while, I only knew them for like, and I forgot what game they did. I think it was Server RTS, but they also did Paladins. They did like a couple other things too. And it was like, granted, Paladins is known as an Overwatch copy, and this game is probably a wannabe RTS of something else. But it's like, they do other things. You can't just stick. It's business 101, man. You don't do that. And these guys clearly don't know the business that well as they should know.
Not necessarily because they're a smaller company. Hell, technically, Rockstar's a smaller company, but Rockstar's been in operation a lot longer. Like if Rockstar right now, you could have this exact same conversation with them when GTA 3 came out, and they wanted to do what did Bully come out?
Like 2004? No, that can't be 2004.
No, that was like San Andreas. No, San Andreas.
San Andreas.
Yeah, was that San Andreas?
San Andreas 2004 for sure. But was Bully before that or after that? Because I didn't play Bully till like 2012.
I feel like it goes around that, but you can essentially say, they're just doing the same thing. They should diversify. Like, I would never click because Rockstar is, I want to say almost Rockstar is about the same size as CD Projekt Red, but Rockstar has been in the business since the 90s. CD Projekt Red has only really been making games for maybe like, I want to say maybe 15 years. They essentially almost have half the time that Rockstar has, and Rockstar's basically spends a lot more time per game. So does CD Projekt Red.
I agree somewhat, but then at the same time with Rockstar, when he first started, I did Body Harvest, which was an N64 game.
I still can't forget that.
Still a badass game. I love that
fucking
game.
Amazing. No, it was incredible.
I wish they would explain to you the game because I thought you were supposed to kill everyone on Earth.
No. But no.
We gotta talk about that one day.
But then, like, Grand Theft Auto, like, 1 and 2 was, like, a completely different game than Grand Theft Auto 3. And then Grand Theft Auto 3 was, relatively different than, Bully and GTA San Andreas. And granted, like, yeah, they, the most prolific fucking games they did was GTA, but, like, they started out with Body Harvest, and they didn't do Body Harvest 2, Body Harvest 3, whatever the fuck. They didn't, like, hang their hat on that shit. They did a bunch of other things. And I can say the same for, like, a lot of other ones. I just don't remember the names. But, like, Dead Space, they could have just been Dead Space people. What were they called?
They were. They made 3 games, and then EA killed them.
Are you sure? Who made Dead Space?
Visceral Studios made Dante's Inferno and Dead Space. Those days, and then died immediately because
and Battlefield Hardline. Those are 3 different games. Army of Two. The Simpsons.
What?
Yeah.
Visceral Studios made a Simpsons game?
Yeah.
Which one?
The 2007 one, it's just called Sims game. The Godfather, Lord of the Rings, 007, My Sims.
Godfather.
What? I thought they were only the Dead Space.
They even did Tiger Woods and NASCAR games. Like, they've done a lot of shit.
Oh, those games are fantastic.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, that's the thing that was like Visceral Games. That was a pretty big purchase when EA purchased them, and by the way, they're not using them for anything right now, which fucking sucks. But
yeah, because they killed them, and I don't know what they even did with them. I think they just shut down the studios, and whoever was left became Sledgehammer.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I meant to show this, but this is where I'm getting information from. You know, right over here, Visceral Games. And,
yeah, I checked the. That was a great Simpsons. These guys made nothing but classics. Jesus fucking Christ! Every game they made is fantastic. Fuck EA, I swear to God.
Yeah.
They're like with Raven Studios, but like different companies are going to focus on different stuff. Like they did diversify the portfolio, but at the end of it, it's like I'll always take it with the same thing with Guerrilla Games. They decided they're going to be the Killzone guys, and that's almost all they did. And in regards to my opinion, that they shifted to a different kind of game, and it worked out for them. The CD Projekt Red is hoping the same thing. They're a very small company. They're not American-based. They're Polish-based. So they're dealing with very different laws and workforce there. They're like, well, let's diversify into first-person shooters. The problem is they bit off more than they could chew. And people were super hyped because they were able to get off the goodwill of Witcher 3. And unfortunately, like then moving on to a new game would now be the worst mistake possible. Because who's going to sit there and be like, buy the next CD Projekt Red? The Cyberpunk's still stinking it up. The best thing they can do is just focus on this game for years, and then in like 2-3 years after this game is decent, basically do what No Man's Sky did. No Man's Sky, they worked on it. No Man's Sky, the guys, Hello Games released a bunch of other games. They're smaller titles, but they've released games in there because they got the goodwill back from how much they fucked up No Man's Sky. But they managed to work on it. CD Projekt Red needs to basically say, hey guys, we can make games. Don't worry. The next game we make, whatever it's called, Witcher 4, Cyberpunk 2, will be good.
And I'm telling you, even if it's the best game ever, they're dead in the water. They do that. They gotta stop. They gotta stop that shit. Because like, I mean, even you said, you know what's so funny? This makes my point so fucking valid. Not to say like I got you or whatever, because you know sometimes we just don't know every fucking thing out there in the world. But like, you know, I brought up Visceral Games and I was like, yeah, they did Dead Space, and then they did before I even finished. You were like, yeah, Dead Space. They only did Dead Space, and it's like that's the problem is that when it's too good and you keep doing the same shit, they've been succeeding and whooping ass for 20 years, and yet instantly while we're talking about this, you thought, oh, it's the guys who did Dead Space, that's it. And it's like they've done a ton of shit. And it's like that's the problem. Like Rockstar, some people feel that way. Like we know Rockstar to do a lot more shit, but like everyone goes Grand Theft Auto, Grand Theft Auto, Grand Theft Auto, and it's like no, like it's sometimes it's bad to do that. You gotta branch out. You can't like.
Sometimes it's impossible to branch out. Like that's why I like Guerrilla Studios because they branched out and were successful, and the game was good. Horizon Zero Dawn could have failed. Hell,
that's true.
If Sony didn't give them the leeway to essentially do whatever the fuck they want, it probably should have.
Because by the way, you know that's a bad thing for the guys who are doing Horizon Zero Dawn because we know that game's gonna be great and PS5 needs it and blah blah, so they're gonna be fine, right? But let's just pretend that game, the first one, didn't come out in 2016. Let's say it came out in 2018, like just barely.
Bro, that year was. I know exactly that year.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah, it needed that because I'm telling you, dude, that was 1 year after No Man's Sky's bullshit. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, PS4 was not doing very well, and games in general were just kind of like it was at a lull. That was when Infinity Warfare came out, and even Call of Duty couldn't get shit going. They got the most dislikes in any YouTube video in the history of fucking YouTube.
No, Nick, not to cut you off, but 2018 was a great year. Do you remember what came out that year?
I'm talking about 2016. My bad.
Yeah.
No, but 2018. No, 2018 was a good year. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption.
God of War and Spider-Man. So if they released it in 2018,
they would have fucked.
There would have been three exclusives for PlayStation in 1 year. That would have got buried.
Yeah, it would have got buried. It needed to be out in 2016, and that's my point. Is like before that game came out. Let's just say it's like. Let's say I got the Phoenix Rising treatment in 2018, right? Like how you said, because so many other good games are out. You gotta keep in mind that before then it was just Killzone. That shit's dead right now. It's gone. The Killzone site's gone, and it's like, dude, like. Yeah. So you guys are only making money off the deal of doing the Horizon Zero Dawn shit. If you didn't do that, the fact that people are not fucking wanting to play Killzone, as Alan said before in previous shows I argued with, it's like, guys, they would have been out of business. Some other company would have ate them up and had them work on something else because clearly Killzone's fucking killed. It's done. It's never coming back. So, you know, and I mean, I see your point. I don't want to keep repeating myself because I know a four-shooter repeat yourself, but it's like, yeah, we disagree that, you know, I think people should branch out. You think they shouldn't sometimes.
Well, I honestly, I'm with, I do agree with you. I want every developer to branch out. But at the end of it, I see that how difficult it can be. There's a reason Bethesda hasn't made another Elder Scrolls game. Skyrim is so fucking popular, they could literally keep re-releasing that and it might make more money than a sequel that doesn't work as well. So it's like I always want people to do something different. That's why I was so proud of Guerrilla Studios for what they did, because they branched out and it was successful. But not every publisher is going to allow someone to do that. Visual Studios, like, they had a great run before. Actually, no, they had a great run during EA. Just EA eventually kind of killed them, because a long-running franchise can sometimes is more marketable than a new IP. Look at FIFA. FIFA never needs to change. Same game every year. Who gives a fuck? If you complain, FIFA's the same game every year, they're not selling it to you. They're selling it to the guy behind you that's buying it. Call him an idiot, but they're making a game for him. He's enjoying himself.
Yeah, no, I totally get you, but yeah. Aside from that, though, like, yeah, we'll see what happens. I think that the multiplayer thing could be a cool aspect, but it's like, if you're not, because they're like, we're gonna do it for all of our games, like what, like the two, like, all right, cool, dude. But like, yeah, for me personally, I think they should be like, hey, let's take a little bit of the tiny little bit of profit we made with the cyberpunk thing, and put that into some smaller game and release that like on mobile or whatever. Like, go mobile. Mobile's fine. You can make a lot of money with mobile. You know what I mean? Make it look pretty and make, put a timer on it. People are like, I don't want to wait to do thing. I need to pay money. Like, you can make a good profit off that shit. So do that, CD Projekt Red. But with that said, though, guys, we're going to get the fuck out of here. Here's the thing, though, man. You can tell them where to find you over there on that Facebook.
Alrighty then. So the MooBot should hopefully at some point put my shit up. I wish it would put it first, because then it would make a lot of sense, but you can't get everything in one.
Alan, you can do it. You just type in, your name.
I know, but like, for now on, I'm gonna just keep it on the side and just do it there. But I was like, it actually did me first. Good. That thing hates me and it decided to fuck with me. Perfect. Follow me on Facebook. You'll see notifications for all sorts of stuff. I just got word on the grapevine that there will be episodes for Cedric Sports Pod in the next couple of days that they will do at the normal time. So follow me on Facebook. I post stuff for the Metropolis. Drop a like there so you get the notification for when the premieres go live. I believe the conversation just dropped an episode today. So there's plenty of stuff that's coming out. Most of our shows are back. We have a schedule that's going on. We're going to try our best to fucking stick to it as much as we fucking can. So, yeah, follow me or follow basically anyone here on Facebook. You'll eventually get a notification.
With that said, people, get out of here. Goodbye. Take care. All that good stuff. We're not going to rate anybody, though, because Chris is not on. I don't want to rate anybody random. I'm not going to say a fucking thank you. Because fuck those guys. And, yeah. Goodbye. All that good stuff. I'm not mad. You are. Bye-bye. Take care. Stay toasty. All that good stuff.